I'm so close to really burn in hell forever. I'm so close to really burn in hell forever. I'm so close to really burn in hell forever.
man, the king, the god of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. You know how I start this off. Shout out to all my MDK gang members around the world. And I want to let everybody know, Blvd Bullies vs. the World is a podcast every Tuesday, 7 p.m. live on YouTube with my motherfucking boy, Larry the Legend. And what the Blvd Bullies are doing, they're trying to ignite a revolution within the fans to unite and make the crowds electric again. So check out the Blvd Bullies vs. the World, 7 p.m. live Tuesdays with Larry the fucking Legend. MDK all fucking day.
I'm so close to you, burn in hell forever.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the longest-running episodic podcast on the Blvd Bullies YouTube channel. Welcome to Blvd Bullies versus the world. That means you, world. We're talking to you, world. We're versing you. I'm your host, PK, and I'm joined by Sunglasses Boy, a man who has won a Price is Right Showcase Showdown, a man who is a CZW Hall of Famer, best dressed on the independent wrestling scene for the last 20 years. My wrestling father, former boat owner, Larry the Legend.
Thank you, my son.
Larry, I'm sick. I'm very, very sick. Look at this. You know how I'm sick? I'm drinking OJ. Orange juice.
No vodka?
No vodka, no champagne. Just virgin OJ, dude. I'm in a bad way. I'm in a bad way.
I'm Dan Aykroyd, Tom Green, sorry for you.
Hey, speaking of TG, did you see the Amazon Prime fucking documentary on him?
I didn't, but you know, every rental that I do for shows, when I get a car, they send me an Amazon gift card for however many days. And I've accumulated quite a bit. So now that you've told me it's on Amazon Prime, I will watch it tonight.
Yeah, I was just watching it, just crying tears. You know, just the level of art and inspiration, and wow. It made me feel a lot of things. It made me feel a lot of ways. I said to myself, by golly, Tom Green would be ashamed at the man I've become. I'm gonna get off of my bum, and I'm gonna revitalize this whole fucking gimmick here. What I do instead, I got sick. Yeah, hey Chase, so sorry for the members only chat last week. You know, I didn't look at my phone. I didn't have my phone near me. I finished the stream. I'm like, the views are the same, but the chat is very, very low. Usually I have my phone right on me. Last week, for whatever reason, I didn't have it, and I botched it. And I felt horrible about it for a week. And then I watched the Tom Green documentary that night, cried human being tears. Then I said, I'm gonna whip this whole fucking organization back into shape the way Tom would have wanted. And then I got sick, and I've had brain fog, worse than usual. Do you get brain fog from not drinking? Once you've been drinking, when you've been drinking heavily, do you get brain fog from like stopping drinking?
Yes. Anything that your body intakes as a stimulant, when you cut it off, especially cold turkey, the receptors in your body that you've been activating,
yeah, they're
like, where's my booze? Where's my nicotine? Where's my cocaine? You know, they're like, where? They go crazy. So yes, absolutely.
Did you ever have like one nostril clogged, or like maybe you're a little stuffy and you do a little cocaine and it just clears you right up?
I have never been bold enough to do cocaine up a clogged nostril.
Because you don't want to waste.
I have
You don't wanna...
I have never been confident enough that the mucus and the boogers are going to create the necessary pathway. Okay, the pathway.
Yeah, the pathway
okay?
needs to be clear.
Yeah. I've never. I've that's never happened to me because if I've ever been in that situation and there's been a clogged nostril during that situation, oh, I'm going with the free and clear.
The free and clear.
Oh.
Well, you know, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying about like mucus, like snotty, but like, you know, I feel like there have been times where I'm a little stuffy, and then woo, clears you right up, and then of course clears you right up. Give it a few hours, and then you're clogged. You're way back clogged. You're clogged up.
Yeah. So to me, Pat, stuffy is there is stuff working its way out.
Cocaine blockers.
Yes, there's runny snot up coming out of your nose, and before it gets out, there's the hard snot and boogers. So to me, stuffy is like there's stuff up there, even when it's clear. There's more stuff right behind it to create more, you know. So no, I've never been brave enough. Hey, can I ask you?
Yeah.
Have you been watching Seth freaking Rollins lately?
Oh, you know, I have. I was gonna warn the viewers that
I can't contain it.
What, his flamboyant outfits?
Okay, but bro, he is going into like a crazy man state. He is definitely starting to look and sound like a crazy man. And I just gotta say, out of everything that we're gonna talk about tonight, before we go any further, I have just got to tip the old proverbial cap to old Tyler Black.
Ty Blair.
And the tremendous character work that motherfucker is doing right now.
He speaks very oddly. Are you referring, first of all, are you referring to his Joe Exotic leather hat and trench coat? He looked more like the Undertaker to me.
So to me, best dress of the whole weekend, the shebang, was Charlotte Flair. And I feel
she
like
looks good.
Yes, she does. Both of her outfits, Royal Rumble and Raw. But I feel like that Seth saw her and was like, "Oh no, you're not. No, you are not gonna be the fucking fashion plate of this shit." And that fit Seth rocked last night. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Can you describe it to the viewers at home, Larry? I want to hear you. I want to hear your description of Seth's ensemble last night on the Raw after Rumble.
Well, he was dressed in all black like the Omen. Had his friends singing, "This is for my homies."
Yeah, he was all leathered out.
So it was like a duster, like a JBL, Larry's Dead Uncle duster.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also like a Paulie Dangerously trench. It was like a duster, like the Undertaker, but it was also like a trench, like Paulie.
Well, the thing that I found very odd about it, because you mentioned those things, you mentioned those names, and we have an image in our mind. Shout out Michael Cole, who said that he looked like he was from something out of the Dark Tower series, which to me is amazing because that just shows that Michael Cole's so cool and that he knows Stephen King Dark Tower series.
I mean, dude, he's a Sag. Michael Cole is a Sag. Don't you ever fucking sleep, Pat, and you know what I'm saying right now.
And I guess we'll just talk about this. Will be the WWE portion. We're gonna get to the biggest news of the week.
There's news?
Oh, there. Well, you were the one who broke it to me. The table heard round the world. The table throwing heard round the world.
Oh my god!
Yo, Larry, can I tell you something? We're already branching, but I really don't feel fucking well. And I was going to cancel for the first time ever. I was going to cancel this show, but I said to myself, no, I cannot let a week pass without us touching on the Joey Janela table throwing incident. And I just want to know, I wanted to let you know that piece of news, that little nugget, that nougat, if you will, is what got me up out of my bed and sat me down on this here char, because we got to talk about Joey. But let's stick to WWE, because the Royal Rumble happened, and you know what? I love the Royal Rumble, Larry. I love it. And so anyway, back to Seth's outfit. The strange thing, JBL wore a duster. The Undertaker wore a duster. There have been countless others who've worn a duster. The thing that made Seth Rollins' duster so odd is that he had it like buttoned and he had like the sash tied.
Yes.
He had the sash tied, which was the strangest part.
Yes.
Why did he have this sash? Like, so it wasn't like a cool flowing duster. He looked like a woman in a raincoat walking down New York City streets.
Well, my favorite part was when Sammy came out and the ska hit, and Seth immediately started to dance the jolly jig. He danced the jolly jig in the ring in that duster, that tied and buttoned corset of garb. And I just was like, he's a crazy man. This man is crazy.
It's just so weird because, when he's he's been in more serious things lately. So it's like, CM Punk goes out, he's like, Seth Rollins, get your ass out here. It's like a mad serious, mad real thing. Mm-hmm. And then Seth comes out looking like a tablecloth. Or something like old lady, he's wearing old lady curtains. That just takes me out of it right away.
I feel you hit on something a second ago. And also, real quick, before we go any further, Pat. From one Sagittarius who uses their voice, shout out fucking Michael Cole. Because by the end of the Rumble, you could hear audibly how tired he was. And I don't want to shout him out for getting through the Rumble. I want to shout him out for getting that voice back by the time of Raw.
And he went out drinking, had a few coal trains.
He's a Sag.
He loves to drink.
So yeah, shout out him. But Seth is just, to me, it's like really like magical, because clearly there are a lot of huge personalities and sort of focal points in WWE right now. There's clearly tons. And Seth is making or carving the road out so that people are like, oh, I can't wait for fucking Seth freaking Rollins to come out.
WWE is so on fire everywhere they go right now. It's like it's like they have 17 to 70,000 paid extras in the stands every fucking night.
Dude, they're cooking. Bro, I didn't even see one person enter the ring at the Rumble. I saw images of the stadium itself or whatever they were in before it started, and I was like, wow, this is fucking big time.
John Richter, super chat. Love y'all. Super chat. Love you, John. Spill the deets on Jelly Boy and table flipping. We're gonna be doing that later on this evening.
Okay. Well, I've branched enough. Shout out to Alicia Taylor too. I thought her announcing was stellar. I've kind of forgotten about Samantha Irvine, and that's weird because she was so badass. But Alicia Taylor,
the Royal. I don't want to do it because I'll go into a coughing fit. But like,
listen. She is bringing the gravitas, the self-referential gravitas to it that makes people kind of like laugh. You know that you know what I'm talking about, Pat. We know
the following is a Royal Rumble match.
And bro, you know that the way she's doing it to the little ones, to the wee ones, the 7-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, the 9-year-olds, they're like, oh my God. It's about they're galvanized by her fucking commitment.
Yeah, no, and much like the Necro Butcher or Schlack or Nick Gage or any of the greats of our time would, during your intros, look to you and go, ooh, and like tell you that they're like feeling it. I guarantee you that all the wrestlers say that to her too. Do that with her.
I mean, it's kind of like your unspoken job to give the fighters goosebumps right before ding ding ding, right before ding ding ding. You want to say their name correctly. You want to say their hometown, their moniker, their accolades correctly, so that they're like, you know what? I may be having the flu right now or feeling a little under the weather. But Larry just fucking smacked my ass and woke me up and reminded me why the fuck I'm not in the crowd right now, but why I'm in the tights, I'm in the pearly white boots, and I'm about to fucking do this shit.
Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, 70,000 for the Royal Rumble. It was ginormous. Yeah, and it's just like, they got it on Netflix. They got it on Peacock. They're coming back with the A&E biography fucking thing. They're doing a million things. Venue was awesome. Started off with the Women's Royal Rumble match. And I think it was pretty obvious, to me at least, that Charlotte Flair was going to win the match. I don't even know who the other women's champion is. It's Rhea Ripley and who? Or is that just it? Is it just Rhea?
Nia just lost it to Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, right. It's Tiffany and fucking Tiffany and Rhea.
It's Tiffany and Rhea, yeah. I'm just going to say, and it's not just
Tiffany and Rhea.
It's not just because of Trish. I thought that the women did a superior fucking usage of the time. And seeing everybody getting out of the way so that people could do their little shit. You know what I'm talking about, Pat? We watched all of these. People getting out of the way so that the new girl can do her shit.
Right.
I thought the women just kind of had a better sense of like, and maybe it's because they were first. Maybe it's because they were first, but I felt like the women had a better sense of like flow and like, we're going to kick this shit up with a biggity bang.
Well,
than the men did.
I mean, it was a great event because it was just like, okay, women's match, tag team championship match. Or no, it wasn't. Was it a championship? Are there two different tag team champions now as well?
Pat, there are currently 70 million championships actively in the World Wrestling Entertainment. I believe after the women's rah-rah, they did, Tommaso and Gargano versus,
the Motor City Machine Guns.
The MCMs, the Motor City Machine Gun. Yeah, and best 2 out of 3 falls.
Before we get to that, we had the Women's Rumble. You had yourself some Liv Morgan. Always love to see her.
Well,
yeah,
bro. She's a great actress. I said it.
She's an excellent actress.
Yes, dude. I said it. She's a great actress.
Who else? Oh, okay. So, is there? Oh, you also had surprises by, fucking Trish Stratus. Nikki Bella was number 30. What's their fucking theme? What's the theme? You can look, but you can't touch.
Bro.
Hell yeah,
I was watching, and honestly, if let's light it up, if that would have played, there would have been tears.
Who's that? Alicia Fox?
No.
Who?
That's AJ Lee.
Oh, AJ Lee. Well, that was the rumor. That was the rumor. I just think that rumor comes around all the time just because people love AJ Lee so much.
And I think that eventually, I also think that rumor comes up all the time because eventually we will hear, let's light it up,
Wasn't her character like kind of slutty though, kind of promiscuous? Like she would always make out with the wrestler. I feel like every clip of her was in some kind of love triangle, making out with wrestlers and shit.
You know what? That's neither here nor there. But yes, when Nikki and Brie's theme hit, You can look, but you can't touch. Bro, I just like looked down and I just started like shaking my head because I knew that I wasn't going to get to see them come out together. Because
No.
that theme to me is very much intrinsically linked to their little like, that like that twin magic that they used to do where they would do the turn together. You know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
Pat? It would say, you can look, but you can't touch.
Alexa Bliss came back. By the way, side note.
And then when the beat dropped, wait, they would do like this little like, oh, I'm sexy, I'm sexy, and they would do a turn. They would do a full turn, and then they would walk to the ring.
Alexa Bliss came back to uproarious applause. Somebody
Who got a bigger
said,
pop? Who got a bigger pop? Her or Trish? What do you think?
I think her.
I think Alexa.
Yeah,
I think Alexa.
her
Yeah,
too.
As I was saying it, because all the rumors on the internet was like she's gone for
She's
good.
gone forever.
She's dead.
She's
She's
back.
dead to us. Yeah, she'll never be back.
Yeah, and Charlotte Flair also came back and won, as we mentioned. You know, is it any question that the greatest, best women's wrestler right now is Chelsea Green? Is Chelsea Green not amazing in everything that she does in the ring? Like her facial expressions, like, you know, based on her her character is like an old school cowardly shitheel. And everything she does and all her faces are fucking incredible, and I love her.
Best in the world is like,
okay, maybe not the best in the
you
world.
know what I mean? Like,
okay, but she's
lot of women do it.
she's one of my favorites.
Okay, I'll grant you.
Yeah, give me Chelsea Green over Tiffany Stratton any day of the week, my bro. If you ask me.
I mean, I like women. I like women.
Stop lying, Larry.
I am way better friends with women in life than I am with guys. Guys are gross. They're always like texting and being like, "Oh, hook me up,"
Yeah.
and I'm always like, none of my.
They're always flipping tables and
yeah,
tweeting about it, then tweeting about tweeting about
but
it.
you look at the girl. She's standing there. You know, she's like, "Oh my god, this guy."
Yeah. Oh God.
Here we go again with the.
Can you imagine like Joey? I don't want to get to this too early. I want to stick to the Rumble, but can you imagine like Joey laying in bed, like her having to hang out with him in the 8 hours that like followed that? Like you know, like even when he leaves the venue, they're together. He's probably just talking about like smash cut him talking about it in the car, talking about it in the hotel, talking about it at breakfast. Talking about it on the plane. I think I'm going to tweet about it. You know, and you saw it didn't hit me, right? It did. And he like working out hhis material on her. She's probably just like, oh my God, like what? Shut the yeah, babe. Yes. Anyway, Women's Royal Rumble, A++, Charlotte Flair wins. Who else would have won? Who else could have won? I guess maybe Liv, but Liv already did her deal. Chelsea Green could have won. But she's the United States champion. They had a bunch of NXT women as well. They had Lash LaRue or whatever. Yeah, you know that woman who's a very, very athletic, like kind of thick black lady. You know who I'm talking about?
Lash Legend.
Yeah, she's an ex-WNBA superstar.
Yeah, we love
she's
Lash
fucking
Legend.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. I actually thought Nia was gonna win.
You know, I could have seen it happening. Nia, by the way, better theme music than the Bellas. What her old theme? What was her old theme?
Oh, her old. I'm not like most girls, I have cousins with the rockin'. That means I may not know why, so you won't see me lose. I'm not like most girls.
I'm not like most girls. Lash Legend, Stephanie McCord, Julia, Jada Parker. All very great. I love how Stephanie Vakir never smiles. She doesn't even, like, all the women are like models. You know, they all come out and they like smile, like, hey, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. It's all like anime. They're all anime characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ha, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go.
Stephanie's from below. She's from
Yo,
down below.
She just, and you saw she almost cracked a little smile, but kept it down.
Yeah.
And Julia had, I guess, her face mask armor looked like alien face hugger on her fucking face.
Yeah.
And then
I got horns. I got horns with her entrance gear. Like I got like horn. I thought she had horns.
No, she comes out with a face hugger apparently. Rips it off, tears it off.
Can I just say, how historic was it, Pat? And I know you are a student of the game because you're my kid. How historic was it to see like a mass elimination? Do you remember during the women's there was like that mass elimination where like 8 women went out? Like I think Nia, they were all like scrambling to get someone out, and Nia just said, "I'm gonna use all my big girth." And
I'm not like most girls.
And it was like 8. Yeah, because she's not like most girls.
No, she's not. Who won the Women's Royal Rumble last year? Did she win it or did Liv? Or did Rhea Ripley?
I thought it was Rhea.
Maybe it was Rhea and then Rhea went on to, I don't know. I don't remember.
Look in the chat. You know,
hey,
the chat
speaking
goes.
of alien face huggers, have you seen the new Alien film, Alien Romulus?
No. I don't really like movies anymore, Pat.
Don't like movies.
Everything sucks. Okay. I don't mean I don't like movies. It's just that like
Bailey won last year. We were
okay.
way off.
Okay, sorry. We don't remember. We were too busy doing the shit.
Too busy doing probably Hey, did you see that Bailey, because they call her I'm not like most girls. What's her name comes out and calls her BBL Bailey? Yeah, Nia Jax calls Bailey BBL Bailey. And Bailey did like an online interview, like a WWE.com interview. It was like, okay, so I was hurt and I gained a little weight and the weight went to my cheeks. It's not my fault. I got nice cheeks. And she kept talking about her cheeks. But it was just funny because it was the first time she really like addressed it. She said, hey, 100% natural. I love to eat cookies and they go right to my butt.
I mean, Bailey, even from when she was, I guess, a younger wrestler, she's always been kind of like hippie. She's always been a hippie wrestler to me. You could already
been
see,
like kind of a little.
yeah.
You know, she was like 6 years old, writing in her notebook about, I want to be a WWF superstar. So you know, there's something a little off about her.
Well, I mean, you gotta think Rich Swann, Ricochet. They probably were doing the same thing.
Well, there's something off about those guys too.
Hey, they're my friends.
By the way, did you see that Ricochet in one of the promos where he did a sit down with Swerve, and he's like, "I'm not a good actor. I'm bad at acting. I'm bad at pretending. I'm bad at cutting promos."
He said that?
Yeah. But like I'm sure it went on to say like, but I'm about making it happen in the ring, you know, whatever. But I just been seeing that clip go around. It's like Ricochet admits he sucks. It's like, I'm not good at pretending. I'm not good at cutting promos. It's like, dude, you're doing too much. Like, you really aren't good, because that wouldn't have been an idea of something that should have been said if you were good at doing it.
You know, the thing about it is that Ricochet is not the he's not the best at those things that you just said, but his confidence in how he holds himself and carries himself is very like attractive.
Who's hotter, Ricochet or Swerve?
I mean, it's really funny that you mentioned those two because I think that they both kind of like have the same peacock about them.
Yeah,
They
swag.
have the yeah, bro, you're a New Yorker. Like my take on Harlem is like if like in Harlem, you might like see a dusty bummy motherfucker, but like he's like carrying himself like I might be this, but I'm the best motherfucking dusty bummy motherfucker that you can ever fucking find. All the mother dusty bum motherfuckers can't see me. And like both Ricochet and Swerve kind of like cover for like maybe the not better parts of them by just being what you call cock of the walk.
Yeah, they got cock walking ability. Hey, fuck, marry, kill. Ricochet, Swerve, and Velveteen Dream.
Why are you doing this to me? We're branching way off now.
I'll go first. You want me to do it?
Sure, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna fuck Ricochet because he's got the best body and I'm taller than him. I'm gonna kill. Unfortunately, I'm gonna kill a fellow Patrick. I'm gonna kill fucking what's his name, Velveteen, and I guess I'll marry Swerve. I'll just build a nice home for him while he's out wrestling. The home that was burned down.
Man, I wouldn't. I guess by default, because I don't want to kill any of them.
No, that's the game. You got to kill one of them.
Okay, it's a game, but I don't want to kill any of them. I would kill the oldest, whoever the oldest is, and I believe that's Ricochet. I would kill him
because you want youth. You want to fucking marry youth.
I'd fuck Swerve. Okay. Because it never happened in real life, and I would.
Would you fuck Buff Swerve or Skinny Swerve?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
AEW Swerve or like CZW Swerve?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But let's get on to the marry. Obviously, would marry the Velveteen Dream because that's the only way that his fucking career is ever going to be repaired. Is the marry?
Yeah, it keeps him off the streets.
You know, I got to do damage. Plus, he's the Maryland guy. Out of all those guys, Velveteen's the Maryland guy. He's, not Baltimore, but Maryland. Maryland. And I'm Larry. So I would marry the Velveteen Dream to make sure he was set up for success.
Nice. I love that for you. Hey, that's a new weekly segment. Fuck, marry, kill. I'll
you know what
play
people
it
are
when it
liking?
presents itself.
You know what people are liking? They're liking the Mount Rushmores. How we do the Mount. That's what people are liking. So we should come up with some more Mount Rushmores.
All right, I'll keep that on my radar as we move forward. Super chat, Zimzo, $4.99. Larry, any good Timmy Baltimore stories? Oh wait, hold on. Before we do that one, I wanted to ask you because we were talking about Tyler Black.
I can't believe motherfuckers really watch this shit. I cannot, because that and the Buzz Striker. People are really watching this show. Continue, Pat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, do you have any, before you get to Timmy Baltimore, do you have any Tyler Black stories? Do you ever brush elbows with him or share a locker room with him or announce him? From Davenport, Iowa?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have two stories with Colby. One of them I can't say on the air, but it's a good story. It's a good story.
Is that his name, Colby?
Colby.
Oh my God.
But look,
that would be his name.
Well, listen, there's a reason that I can say that. Like some people are gonna look that up. Some people are gonna look him. I'm not looking shit up. I worked for Ring of Honor Wrestling. I worked for Ring of Honor Wrestling when Sinclair Broadcast Group owned them. And 2 or 3 of the best-selling DVDs were like Best of Tyler Black, like the Tyler Black 3-disc set. Like Ring of Honor had a bunch of Tyler Black DVDs that they were making money off of Seth Rollins' name. And Pat, one time when I was working for Ring of Honor, he came to the television studio that Ring of Honor was housed in to do the morning things. Bray did one with the weather. You always see the WWE, they're in the town of wherever, so they appear on the Fox affiliate, and they're like sitting there with, Big E or whoever. Anyway.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Yes,
Baltimore.
yes, that. For the show that night in the city, in New York, and out at the Nassau Coliseum. You know what I'm talking about. He came to the television studio that owned Ring of Honor. And Ring of Honor at the time was making a lot of money off these DVDs, but you have to get people to sign a release to collect royalties on things. And my job that morning that Seth Rollins was on the television studio news was to confront him with the paperwork so that we could pay him. Accounting was like, yo, we got to pay this guy or he can come back and sue us. They were like, we've got to pay him for his likeness that we're making money off of. But he doesn't work for us anymore. And he didn't agree to this. So after he did his little on air thing, I was in my Larry Legend Ring of Honor suit. I had my briefcase and clipboard. And as soon as he walked out of the morning thing, I'm like, hi there, I'm Larry, work for Ring of Honor Wrestling. We just need your John Hancock on this paperwork so that we can give you your money for your DVDs that we're selling. And he was like, yeah, you guys are in here now, aren't you? And I was like, yes, indeed we are. And we want to give you your money, but until we get you to sign off on this, we can't pay you. And he signed that right there in front of me. And I did get a picture. I'll put it up on.
Hell yeah.
I'll tweet it. I'll tweet it tonight and tag Blvd Bullies. But I took a picture of me and Tyler Black, Seth Rollins, and he was cool. But when he first saw me, he was like, "Is this like a fan? That snuck in here or something?" His eyes were definitely kind of like, "Who is this guy? Why are you in a suit? Why are you looking at my direction?" And WWE always has you with a lawyer or a security or some of their own people. And whoever it was like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead and sign it. They gave him
I was going to
thumbs
say,
up.
did he just signed it without even consulting?
Well, they don't appear anywhere by themselves. They always have a legal person. And the person was like, it's fine. And he fucking signed it. And we got the little picture. And I guess he got paid off for the rest of his DVDs until they sold out.
I love that for him. I love that for you. That sounds so fun. I feel like, did you have short hair at the time? Were you clean shaven with short hair?
No, this was Ring of Honor, so I was still the It's About to Go Down t-shirt, kind of gentleman's mohawk, gentleman's mohawk. I didn't cut my hair low until after I got fired by ROH. I got fired by ROH or laid off, whatever you would call it.
I feel like you could have done a gimmick where you're some kind of just you're Larry, but you're as a lawyer or a businessman or some kind of comptroller. They're like, hello, how are you? We just need you to go ahead and sign this paperwork. You'd be like a Teddy Long type.
Pat.
Yeah.
Every time that I've been an extra, for WWE, I've always arrived late. And every time I just walk in a very similar suit that I was in for the Seth Rollins interaction. And I just walk like I belong and no one says anything to me. No one comes up to me and hey, who are you? Can I see your stuff? I just walk straight ahead until I see someone like Swan who I know or so yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's great.
And the other Seth Rollins story I'll never tell, or I'll only write it in my book.
Write it in his book. There you go. Pre-orders available now. ZMZO $4.99. Larry, any good Timmy Baltimore stories? You're a real one for that Left Rack City and Elmcore reference last week. Shout out Elmcore. Love to the show from Flushing. Hey, Flushing. Shout out, Queens.
We love Killer Queens. We love Killer Queens.
Blvd Bullies is actually the boulevard that it was Queens Boulevard that the Blvd Bullies got their name from. Boulevard of Death.
It is also known as the Boulevard of Death. You know that because so many people die on Queens Boulevard. I heard that it's AKA the Boulevard of Death.
Who's Timmy Baltimore?
Timmy Baltimore is one of the commentators for MCW Pro. My alma mater, where I came from, where I met Ruckus, MCW Pro. Timmy is their play-by-play guy. So if you ever see me share MCW's videos on YouTube and you hear like a couple voices, the lead guy is Timmy Baltimore. And
Timothy Baltimore.
Timothy and I pretty much, I guess, kind of broke in at the same time. We both kind of like our class of 2001. Okay, right after 9/11, we're both class of 2001. 9/11 happened, and we were like, "Oh, better do something."
Let's get into wrestling.
Yeah, so we're both 23 years in. And I have a lot of Timmy Baltimore stories.
Well, there you go. There's the answer to your question. He's got a lot.
Here's an appropriate one. At one point, Timmy and I were tasked with being get the talent to the hotel. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? Get the talent to the hotel. Timmy and I, before I was an announcer and before Timmy was a commentator, we both were tasked with some real downtown Bruno shit. Okay? Some real and the talent, Pat, was Sensational Sherry and Bobby Eaton, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, were on the MCW Tribute to Legends show. And after that show, everybody's paid, tearing down the ring. We need to get Sherry back to the hotel. We need to get Beautiful Bobby back to the hotel. Can someone do this? Larry, what are you doing? Can you take Sensational Sherry, from SummerSlam 1989 and shit that you watched growing up and Beautiful Bobby Eaton? Can you just drive them to the hotel? It's not that far. It's right over there. And I'm like, yeah. What am I going to say? No? Hell yeah. And Timmy was a big Jim Cornette, Midnight Express, Southern kind of, I love this shit. And he rode with me. He can't drive, but he rode with me and Beautiful Bobby and Sensational Sherry back to the hotel. And then when we got them back to the hotel, we spent a little time, him with Beautiful Bobby and me with Sherry Martel, kind of shooting the shit, And then I took Sherry back to the after party, but Bobby Eaton stayed at the hotel. I don't think he stayed with Brent. I think he just wanted to rest, but I took Brent back to the after party, me, him, and Sherry, after Sherry had gotten herself all dolled up again, looking all she had wrestled, but after this, she went to the hotel, got all washed up, dolled up, and then we were back to the after party. So that's my story of Timmy, is back when we were both greenhorns, running around getting cigarettes for the big show.
Casey Brown says that he broke in 2001 and that you broke in 2000, brother.
What?
Casey Brown.
Oh, he's talking about backyard. That don't count, bro. I mean, I guess it's the origin story, so yeah, you do have a point, but no. I'm talking about actually interacting with people like The Big Show, Cena, Benoit, right? Interacting with the stars, Brent and I, or Timmy, God, I keep on fucking, Timmy and I started in 2001. Broke in.
very quickly, because I want to get through WWE. I want to get to your favorite part of the show, and I want to get to a little deathmatch drum. John Richter, good question. Larry, who is on your Mount Rushmore of managers all time?
Oh my God. Damn.
I think I'm one away. I think Bobby the Brain, definitely. I'll go. See, I have a lot of favorites, but you got to go Mount Rushmore. Whose name are you going to carve into a mountain? Whose face? Bobby the Brain, Sherry, Jim Cornette, and classy Freddie Blassie for John Richter. I mean, I got to go Bobby, Sherry, Cornette. You know, I want to say you got to say the right ones. It's not the funny ones.
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is hard. This is hard.
Oh, Paul Bearer. I'm gonna swap out Freddie Blassie with Paul Bearer. Maybe Paul Bearer, Sherry. Now, see, I wasn't old enough really for Sherry.
This is the point. This is the point. There is someone that is old enough to have really experienced Captain Lou Albano and all of his managerial, or Mr. Fuji. There's someone that is watching that is old enough to really have been affected by Fuji and Albano the way that someone like you and me were probably affected by like a Bobby, or a Heyman, So it's like a very, just looking at the impact of the role of manager, not just your favorites, but the impact of like, a manager.
It's not a subjective, it's more of an objective.
Indeed.
That's
a hard one.
Number one, Paul Bearer. Number two, Bobby the Brain. I'm a little old for Sherry, so maybe Sable. And then Cornette / Fuji, who managed Yokozuna and Owen Hart. Because once again, if you're going objective, you got to say Sable, because Sable drew more viewers than all of them, than Sherry ever, and it's really place and time, and she sucked. Everyone says she sucked. There's so many stories about that she sucks, but how many docs do you hear? Where they all fucking say, Sable moved the needle. Bobby the Brain. See, but I'm more of I would put Bobby the Brain on my Mount Rushmore of commentators, because I wasn't so much with the Bobby Brain manager.
This is where the view gets askew.
Yeah.
Because I as well liked Bobby as a manager, not for what he did managing, but what he did on the microphone before the match started, where they would do that like Mr. Perfect and him in front of the Mr. Perfect logo, or him and Rick Rude.
Yeah.
That is what made me really think of Bobby as one of the greatest managers of all time. Not necessarily the heat that he draw, and he would draw heat, but he did it with the linguistics. I don't remember really like seeing him be a weasel on the outside of the ring.
Yeah, me neither. I have memories of him with Gorilla Monsoon at home video, and I have and then WCW commentating later on, ignoring Sonny. Okay. We're going Paul Bearer, Jimmy Hart, Sonny, Sable. Boom. There you go. That's my Mount Rushmore. And imagine Mount Rushmore now. It's a 4-way kiss between all of them. All 4 of them. They're kissing. They're smooching. Estrada with Umaga. Who was the guy with Kamala? The fucking explorer dude.
Who?
Kamala had the manager?
Kimchi.
Mr. Fuji was great.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Hey, cat's in here. I'm gonna go with Paul Bearer. I'm gonna go with. Ooh, Pat, this is so hard. Good question, Johnny Richter. I'm gonna go with Paul Bearer. I'm gonna go with Elizabeth.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We all forgot. We forgot about her.
I mean, I'm a big who paved the way for broads to even step. And I don't mean that in that type of way, but you understand what I'm doing here. I'm a big who paved the way for Tremont, So, I put like Ian and all these old guys on my Mount Rushmore. So I gotta go with Elizabeth for the same reason I go with Paul Bearer, the look, the package. When you see the trading card of the Undertaker and Paul Bearer, when you see the back of the DVD with Undertaker and Paul Bearer, or same with Macho Man and Elizabeth, the look. You get it. This is wrestling. So those two first, and then so hard. It's so hard. Mm, 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 mm. I'm gonna go with Harley Race. I'm gonna go with Harley Race
Terrifying
because,
man.
bro,
Scary person.
in so many ways, being a manager of Vader was like his last hurrah. That was like his last. I'm doing these bumps. It was his last. I'm taking a shot. I'm doing the loop de loo over the top rope. I'm taking anything on the stage, whatever. And Harley gave his soul to being a manager and being a former wrestler. Okay. You remember a lot of the times the manager could be a former wrestler from like 1950, but in like 1990, I still got it. I still can, give you the old shotsy. And like, to me, it kind of legitimized what a manager even was. Like, I was like, yo, Vader is going to be unstoppable. Mr. Fuji is another example of that. Even though Fuji wasn't as active, he would do the salt or the Japanese flag shot, but he didn't really. By the time he was with Yoko, he was really out the pasture. But Harley is up there for me. That really kind of like was like, oh, this is a manager. A manager can be like an old wrestler, an old school wrestler that wants to like smoke a stogie and tell the young Vader how to be the champion. So I got to go with Harley, Miss Elizabeth, Paul Bearer, and just because I understand the game, I'm gonna say Teddy Long.
All right. All right. I mean, an honorable mention, Paul. I forgot about Paul Heyman as well. Paul Ellering as well is another one.
But Paul Ellering is a good sort of category, like the look. But Paul Heyman also did most of his like. I mean, Paul did the matches too, and Bobby did the matches too, where it was like, I get 5 minutes alone in the ring with you, Paul. If I go through the entire Dangerous Alliance, it's me and it's you. And then Paul would be like, no, I don't want to do that. And it's like, well, how about this? 5 minutes alone, you and Medusa. And then Paul's like, a woman.
John Richter says, hands down, Harley Race is my favorite wrestler. Daphne, Missy Hyatt have been mentioned.
Missy, look, Daphne.
James Mitchell, Kimona and Liv. Oh, yes. Luna Vachon with Gold Dust, never forget, of course. And Marlena with Gold Dust, of course. Never forget. Joel Gerdner with the Dudley Boys. Sign Guy Dudley. You guys have all overlooked the number one greatest manager of all time. Head. Al Snow and Head.
That moved numbers, dude. Dude, I believe, Pat, do you remember when Al Snow was like, there was a promo for like Guilty as Charged or something, one of the rare pay-per-views of ECW, and like on the preview channel, it would just show all the people behind him with the white heads.
Yes,
like,
yes,
dude,
Larry.
I believe that's what got him back in WWE, because I'm like, oh my God, it looks crazy.
Yeah, that was one of the main. That was my first exposure to him before he was, because he was Leaf Cassidy.
And he was he Shinobi, or what was he? Was a ninja
something
too?
Like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he was great. He was great. Help me. Al Snow
Help
with
me.
the heads.
Yes, dude. Help me. Help me. So ahead of its time, dude.
Yeah,
So
he was great. Real quick, let's just finish up the Men's Royal Rumble because Larry has to leave early tonight, and I feel like fucking trash. So once again, I apologize so much for the members only chat last week. I apologize so much for being dead on social media all week, really all life. But better times are ahead. Brighter times are ahead. This time next week, we're going to be banging it out. And there's a new Blvd Bullies program on the horizon that will be free for everybody as well. And you can always catch me and Prince playing video games on Thursdays on YouTube. We have a doozy of a video game this week, which I will reveal to you in time. Kevin Owens got Motor City Machine Guns, blah, 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 blah. Kevin Owens fully decapitated at the end of his match with Cody. Did you see this?
Kevin is a showman.
That was insane, dude. It made me cringe thinking about where his head went. For those of you who didn't watch.
Kevin is a showman.
And you could tell, you could tell, maybe not from his body language, but just if you know him, like as a performer, if you've seen you could tell he was going to go all out for this shit. Winged Eagle ladder match. You know he was going to go crazy. So at the end of the match, they had the ladder, like the one that was going to break, the wooden one, the table ladder, between the fucking commentator desk and the ring. They had the bridge. And Kevin Owens is going to fuck up Cody. They're jockeying back and forth. They're standing on the table. Somehow, he's going to package pile drive him on the announce table. That's what he was going to do. But then Cody counters it, picks him up, Alabama slam through the fucking breaking ladder, and Kevin Owens his head fucking disappeared in between the rungs of the ladder and to the floor, and was laying like with his legs like that way. And to myself, I thought he could have a broken neck. And then I thought, how does he not have a broken neck?
Yeah, what did I say I was going to show? Me and Seth Rollins picture?
Yeah, the photo.
I'm also going to go on X, the land of Musk, and I'm going to tweet a video of a stunt that I did when I was a backyarder, very similar to the Kevin Owens. And the key to this stunt for all of you young ones out there is you gotta say the goal is I'm gonna kiss my own ass. The goal is that when I land, I'm gonna somehow find a way to roll myself into a position where I am trying real hard to kiss my own hole.
I'm gonna suck my own hole.
And Kevin did it.
He's been practicing that his whole life.
Flawlessly, and the man is still alive. So that's what makes it flawless. Yep.
Really good stuff. Really excited that Sami Zayn came out to help, and they kind of teased that Sami Zayn
Bro, when they can make me be a kid again, they can make me be like, what's going on? Is he gonna, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that was what was masterful about it, is that he came out, and he was looking at him, but he didn't do it. Not yet. Not yet, Larry.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're seeing the seed sowed. We're seeing the seed sowed.
Well, if you think about it, it's like you got a whole bunch of smart motherfuckers involved in wrestling. Like the wrestlers who are actually smart, not like Ricochet and Aleister Black and shit. Like I'm talking like CM Punk.
Come on.
What?
Will you stop?
I'm talking like CM Punk, Cody, fucking Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Paul Heyman. And that's the key, is Paul. They're all fucking, and they're actually getting listened to. And the shit that they're doing is awesome. Winner of the Men's Royal Rumble match, Jimmy Uso. Which also, not really mad about it.
Jay.
Did I say Jimmy?
You did.
Jay Uso. Wow, they've done everything. They've done everything in their power.
What? Yeet.
They've done everything in their power to make me be able to tell the difference, and I still messed it up. I found myself wanting John Cena to win.
Why?
Because I want it to be. I just want it to be John Cena's run. I want.
You
I
understand?
think they're gonna go Cody Cena.
Merch. You understand merch, don't you?
Well, he's moving it regardless.
Once I saw those purple socks, I knew it wasn't the end.
Well, he came out and now it's like the final time is now.
Yep.
And he's gonna sell a final time is now t-shirt in every fucking city.
Yep. Good for
All right,
him.
let's read the comments from last week. Favorite part of the show. I also don't have any fucking giveaways or anything this week. Tune in next week. I'm really sorry. I really just haven't.
Bro, I got shit to give away. I got mad shit.
ZM Zoe says, Larry with that Lefrick City to Elms Core reference warms my queen's heart. Alex knows. It's Alex Knows' birthday weekend.
Hey!
Or last weekend was this past. CM Punk has won the Royal Rumble by now in the future, Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. But
you're wrong.
But you know what? And you know what the thing is? Why I'm not mad about who won the Royal Rumble? Because number one, the lame guy always wins the Royal Rumble. The lame guy always wins. The big baby face, fucking milk toast, Wonder Bread, Big Mac, Diet Coke, fucking babyface always wins. And the only reason I'm not mad this year is because I trust that everyone's going to have something great to do at at WrestleMania. You know, whereas before you're like, it was like a house of cards. Like for every one good booking decision Vince made, two would go in a horrible direction or not get followed through on or something shitty would happen. And right now I just feel like they're all going to fucking find something great to do. I don't know what it is. But did you see this Drew McIntyre thing that apparently Drew McIntyre was yelling and screaming after his elimination?
Bro, of course I saw it. And Drew McIntyre looks like the type of motherfucker to yell and scream.
Apparently as a shoot, brother. And that's how they released it. But it's not a shoot. It's setting up some kind of match. But apparently LA Knight and Logan Paul didn't have correct spatial awareness. And him and Damian Priest were going to do an elimination that I guess was a little bit more intricate. But instead they got like bumped into slightly. And Drew McIntyre had no choice but to hurl himself over the top and abandon the original plan. Do you believe this at all? Are you believing this? And apparently he screamed at a bunch of people, told them that they're doing too much, that his shit got fucked up because other people trying to get their shit in. Apparently he got into his rental in his underwear, in his boots and his underwear, in his little trunks, and he furiously drove back to the hotel.
Well, Pat, do you remember what I said about how the women's Royal Rumble seemed to like have like a better awareness of like
spatial awareness?
What we're doing here, like the mass elimination, how all of them had to be on point to be like, okay, Trish is out. All right, Alexa's out. All right, Nikki's out. All right, they just seem to be like
in and out.
Yeah, it just seemed like cats and dogs. It seemed like cats and dogs. And dogs, although the fights are very vicious and brutal, remember that YouTuber? I have no idea who he is. I have no idea who this guy is. I just want to say, and come for me, destroy me, but I don't know who this guy is.
Got wrecked.
I will take Trish, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Bella, any of them of that type of moment over that.
You didn't like seeing the YouTuber get speared?
We already had Logan to look forward to.
I think that without question, this was the men's Royal Rumble with the most ever spears. Because Roman threw like 8, and then Braun was spearing. There's a lot of spearing going down to the Royal Rumble. All right.
MVP. Who was the MVP of the men's Royal Rumble? Then let's go to whatever.
Izod Speed, probably the streamer. He's probably the MVP of the Rumble. because
I'm gonna say Jacob Fatu.
oh, right. Somebody mentioned earlier that Jacob Fatu was their favorite new wrestler. Mount Rushmore of gold tooth wrestlers, gold-plated teeth wrestlers. You got Jacob Fatu. You got Casanova Valentine. You got fucking Atticus Kogar, and you got Swerve. There you go, Mount Rushmore. Bonus
Good
one
job,
for
Pat.
you. Okay,
Good
last
job.
comment, and then we'll get to deathmatch drama. Prayers to Jimmy Lloyd. Lost his passport again and has been stuck in the UK since Sunday. That was a comment of as of Wednesday. Do you know that Jimmy Lloyd got stuck?
Pat, I've been bombarded with so much stuff. I can't. And no, I did not know that. That's why I just gagged.
Well, thoughts and prayers to Jimmy. Did you see Effie spit the egg?
I
in
saw
the
that.
guy's mouth? I think
I
that's
saw
old
that.
news. We should have covered that last week, but I forgot.
Yeah.
Pretty disgusting.
I mean, it could have been spit. It could have been just straight up spit, right? I think that spit would be more disgusting than like an egg.
Let me ask you this. You remember when PK, my initial sister, Priscilla Kelly, pulled the tampon out of her trunks?
I do.
Was that tampon bloody? Was it colored red or was it normal?
Well, that was at a No Peace.
That was a no-ring show, yeah.
There was a No Peace show. And those shows are not very well lit.
So you're not sure. Inconclusive.
I wasn't there.
See, the thing is, I think it gets a little bit gross. Like, pulling something out of your trunks and shoving it in somebody's mouth. Mick Foley used to do it with a sock. How come they sold toy socks and they're not selling toy Priscilla Kelly tampons? Because I think that once you involve pants, something coming out of the trunks, and fluids, that's when it gets really disgusting. So, the fluid exchange was gross.
I mean, look, you want motherfuckers talking. I did a show on Sunday, and for all my efforts to Facebook it and Insta it and tweet it, nobody's talking.
Yeah. Because you didn't spit an egg into somebody's mouth.
They're talking about table. They're talking about the table. With that said, with my last 12 minutes, let's talk about it.
Time does fly. Okay, so for those of you who are not knowing what's going on, I woke up. What day was that, Larry? I woke up in the morning with a beautiful gift sent to me from the usual sources of Joey Janela at a merch table. He's standing there doing the merch table at the end of the night. And this fan, apparently, this hooligan.
From what we gleaned from the footage, a fan.
This is what I saw at first. Flipped the table like he was Dirty Ron leaving an XPW event. And then there was a moment of like confusion. And Joey is just standing there, and I gotta tell you, man, when you're in the ring and your hair's wet, it looks. I'm not just talking about Joey. I'm just talking about the hair's looking good when you're all wet, right? But when it like dries out, you're just like a fluff. He's got his backwards hat. He's got his hair all fluff bombed out. He's got the classic look, Larry. The classic, the worst. The only thing more emasculating for a man is like just he's got the shirt on. He's got the shirt and trunks is such a bad look, and then the exposed knees, the knee pads on the ankles. There's no more pathetic way to view a human being, especially a wrestler, than with their t-shirt on, trunks and short trunks. So anyway, he's sitting there. And you got to watch the video because the facial expressions are hilarious. His facial expressions, and then the table. He picks up the nearest thing from him because This guy can't fight. This guy can't fight. He's one of these guys, and look, I'm Irish. I get it. The Irish are known for just grabbing the nearest fucking bottle, rock, just whatever's not nailed down, and just using it, just flinging it like a shoe, take the shoe off. So Joey takes the table, he's holding the table like he's going to do something, then weakly, awkwardly throws it in the direction of the guy, guy's off camera, and then this guy comes in like a blur, like a house of fire, dude, like aggressively going after the bad boy. And, he I thought landed a few shots, but we're going to get to the comments.
Two.
Yeah. He definitely landed one, dude. And even if he didn't land them, let's get into it. So he comes out, he basically attacks Joey Janela. They get close, they do like the boxing hug, and they wind up on the floor in like a tussle. And John Wayne Murdoch comes over and starts just fucking like, just throwing those stupidest looking punches and kicks you've ever seen. And I guess there were like other people involved. And basically, I don't know what was said before this. I don't know what was said after, but I guess they went on to beat the fucking shit out of this guy. Like 4-on-1, 5-on-1. I'm sure when other wrestlers found out, they came out because, it's like, look, if your name is Scott Hall and a wrestler and a fan jumps in the ring, okay, beat the shit out of them. Triple H, Stone Cold. None of the guys involved are Stone Cold. It's like, guys are just civilians. And to me, it makes me think that they just joined wrestling just in case they got to beat up a fan. So, yeah. That is what happened. Larry, did you see this video? I know you did because you sent it to me.
Yes. Now, I don't have that much time, so I want to make my points.
Yes.
We subsequently learned that it was not a fan. It was not a fan. This was not a fan that approached Joey Janela. This was a fellow worker. Now, from what I can glean, this worker had not worked actively.
Dylan Bostic.
Yes, had not worked actively for a while. But this was stemming from Brody Lee's passing, Luke Harper, and Dylan, like, going on Twitter and like complaining about like the way AEW like treats the extras. Okay, Pat, I'm being 100% with you. We gotta do this journalism, this gonzo. So this stems from this guy like kind of jumping on the AEW wave in 2000. When Brody Lee, AEW was a different kind of numbers they were doing, Pat, and Joey was there at the time, and this guy like was like doing some complaining about like, I don't know how extras are treated or something. And Joey basically was like, hey man, there's a lot of people right now mourning over the loss of a friend and colleague. It's disgusting that you would like right now not have the poise to like not be like talking about this petty shit. And then a back and forth engaged. And Joey and I know Joey. This was years ago, 4 years ago.
Of social media arguing.
But I guess this guy must have said, I will see you. And the end of this must have been like, I will see you when you come to Indianapolis or Chicago or whatever this show was. And damned if this motherfucker wasn't a Sagittarius like you and I, Pat, because that motherfucker was like, hey, now we're right in front of each other. Fuck a Brody Lee dying. Fuck, are you working for AEW? You don't work for AEW no more. Now we're right in front of each other.
You know who it made me think of, Larry? Our old colleague, Brian. Because wasn't Joey Janela going to show up to Brian's house? And didn't this guy, Dylan Bostic, basically show up to Joey Janela's house? Now, listen. Let's get to a statement real quick. Let's get to a statement, Larry, because I don't want to talk about this without you. Joey Janela's official statement. Gonna nip this in the butt. There's a video circulating of me getting ambushed at my table while I was meeting the fans after the show. There wasn't a fan in sight, by the way.
There wasn't. There was one guy. There was one hat wearing glasses guy. There was one guy. He looked kind of like our friend, the photographer. You know,
the photos
there was one guy
of Joey Janela with his blown out hair and his backwards hat holding the table. The facial expressions are hilarious. It stems from hearing everyone's grievances about his experience doing AEW work the day after Brody Lee's death. A lot of us were really upset about it. I took to Twitter because I thought it was disgusting and we went back and forth. Tonight, 4 years later, he flipped me and Megan's gimmick table over to confront me and we got into a scuffle, which resulted in the GCW crew thinking I was getting attacked by a deranged fan and Megan thinking it was some weird Joey skit. For someone that claims to have boxing and training, amazingly not one punch landed. He was eventually carried out crying like a baby with Calvin Tankman. Sorry to all the fans who had to witness. It was an extremely embarrassing situation, blah, 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 blah. Yo, even this apology can fall into the classification of this guy didn't learn his lesson. Because, you know, it's like, okay, this guy was complaining about AEW, and it was bad timing because Brody Lee had just died and everyone was grieving. So you thought that was disgusting. You're so high with moral fiber. You have so much moral fiber that you took to social media to stop this guy from saying something at a time that was inappropriate. Wow, what a moral thing to do. But yet when you're apologizing for this embarrassing situation and the people who are not you that you put through it, the apology couldn't be more fucking low-hanging fruit. Like, why does anybody who needs to be apologized to, fans or fucking onlookers, need to know how many punches landed? Because all you care about is like the perception of your dick size. Why does the guy need to have been being carried out crying like a baby, right? So even in your apology, you're making yourself... And by the way, Larry, what a fucking loser, dude. And you know what else? He then went on, and then everybody jumped on him, and there were slow motion clips online, and there are fucking, and this, you know, it's like, look, Effie spit an egg into a guy's mouth and has better heat online than you do because people are slowing it down. They're saying, look, the first punch obviously landed. And everybody agrees that if nobody was there to break it up and these two were scuffling on the floor together, the guy would have fucking demolished him. Joey Janela looked like something that was about to get, like a squirrel about to get hit by a car. You know what I'm saying? He did not look good. So he then amended after the apology. He went, oh, let me just say one more thing. Okay, he landed maybe one punch. So it's like the first apology. No, I feel like I saw that it was like, okay, yeah, the one punch landed, but, you know, like it was a soft one to the back of my head. And the guy was carried out by Calvin Tankman. Why wasn't he being carried out by you? Why wasn't he being carried out by you, Joe Janela? Why was he carried out by the fucking 350-pound brolic man? Why was he carried out by you?
I gotta go.
I know.
I gotta go. All right. I love you.
Love you, dude. Bye.
See y'all.
All right, so I guess we'll talk about this for a little bit more because now I'm all rejuvenated. Yeah, and the fucking guy's girlfriend is looking on, and this dude bull rushes him. Definitely came in hot, came in swinging. Definitely connected, if not with a punch, but like jarred the man, the Joey's existence. Definitely jarred his existence. Was obviously not prepared for what's about to happen. And by the way, it's not like the guy flipped the table as a distraction, then went in for him. The guy flipped the table as a distraction, gave Joey time to either square up, because at that point you got to know something's about to happen. It's the guy you've been talking shit with for 4 years. The guy flips the table. There's like 15 seconds there where you could like square up and be like, all right, motherfucker, here comes what I've been telling you I'm going to do for 4 years. Instead, he grabs the table and goes, ah! And then the guy comes on him. Let me read some of these comments. It was real difficult to see who was doing shit. John Wayne Murdoch hangs out with rabbits, so his punches look like a rabbit. You just can't block and punch at the same time with the same arm. John Wayne Murdoch, Alex Price, Gringo Loco, Masha, and Calvin Tankman carried him out. The one company booking him, Emerge, vacated the title Dylan just won. Emerge, oh, man. Joey private messaged him, too, and said that he was going to snuff him. Yes, Steve. Oh, I'm so glad that you fucking reminded me. I noticed that too. It's nip it in the bud, not nip it in the butt. Everyone made fun of him, even mainstream fans were laughing, and this isn't the first fight fail. Remember the Blink-182 show? Yes. He got drunk at a Blink-182 show and squared up against Enzo Amore. Yeah. He was pissing his pants. And he got, in my opinion, handled. And he was lucky that there were other people there. And, I guess my final thoughts on this, to quote the late, great Jerry Springer, are, talk shit, get hit. You make your bed, all those things. And yeah, I can see a scenario like that playing out for Joe Janela with Brian, And plus, Joe Janela said to Brian that he was going to do that to him. And it's like, oh, this guy's a deranged fan. We're arguing over AEW extra work. Oh, he said it at the inappropriate time. He was crying out like a baby, getting carried out crying like a baby. You see the disparity there? You see how in the fabric of that apology, he's still a piece of shit. You see how nothing is learned. And by the way, I've seen, and I thought about this the other day too, because I thought about poor Megan Bain, who is making her AEW debut and getting a push into AEW, having to be caught on camera standing there while this fucking moron, gets into another embarrassing situation of his own doing. Of his own fucking doing. And whether it was his fault or not his fault, he creates such a toxic, tribalist environment around himself that people are going to take any chance that they can to shit all over him, me included. He's so not gracious and not classy and has no fucking empathetic bone in his body when it unless it serves him. He's like a fucking idiot. John Wayne Murdoch gets a 2-piece and a biscuit. And then fucking, hey, listen, maybe it wasn't a 2-piece, but Joey definitely got his fucking cage rattled. But I've seen, who was the girl that Joey was dating before, a while ago? The chick from NXT, Brandy Lauren. I saw years ago, he's arguing with fans about sucking in AEW or some botch or something. I don't know exactly what it is. But he's like, my girlfriend's hotter than yours. That's how he defines himself. That as long as he's got a hot girlfriend. And, what if Megan Bain had Joey already got ghosted by AEW. What if Megan Bain, his current girlfriend, got some opportunity taken away? It wouldn't have been his fault, right? It would have been this horrible fan's fault. Maybe if your friends and coworkers and loved ones are doing good stuff, you shouldn't be spewing your fucking nonsense from the top of every mountain on the internet. And this was something that I argued about with Brian for a very long time. It's his excuse, I would say, hey, Brian, you're part of the show now. You represent the show. Even if you're not tweeting from the show's, handle, even if you're not engaging and your Facebook name isn't Blvd Bullies, it's Brian, you still represent the show. You know what I mean? And you still affect us by behaving in a certain way. Oh, well, it's not, there's nothing to do with me. What I do in my time is different than what Blvd Bullies does. Yeah, but you're on the show. You're on the show, though. So, well, it's not my fault. Megan Bain has nothing to do with me. It's not my fault that some crazy fan attacked me. You know? It's like, yeah, okay, that's fair, but would you blame him? Would you blame a company if they just didn't want anything to do with you? Because how long before you fucking get a camera out or get your fucking phone out and go like, show up with her? Or, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. Is that if Megan Bain doesn't succeed in AEW, whether it's because of Joey Janela's fucking personal behavior, outside of the company, or whether it's because the company sucks, or whether it's because Megan Bain sucks, I'll tell you exactly what he's going to do. He's going to shoot on them. And he's going to say all the things that she said and all the things that he knows. And you know why he's going to do that? Because he's going to use that to bring it back to what they did to him. And he's going to make it about how he didn't get a fair shake and about how he is more talented than they ever saw. That's a scenario that will happen. Jay Berg killed XPW. Yeah, I guess he did. He killed XPW, and then he rode off into the sunset, never to be heard from again. It was really only a matter of time before someone attacked him because of all the shit he talks online. It's Vince who shits on people. Remember, it's in the lawsuit. Allegedly, Lucha Freddy. So, I don't know. In a way, Joey Janela makes me a better person because back in 2015 and 16 and 17 and 18 and 19, when the Blvd Bullies were like trolling people heavily and being outspoken, crazy people online in the world of wrestling, Joey Janela was doing the same thing. And I guess you get a little older and you realize, man, I really don't want to be like Joey Janela. So if he's doing that, maybe I won't do that. So even with my completely objective fucking opinions, even though, my complete scientific opinion and hypotheses and accurate breakdown of the video and opinion of his personality in general, even when I'm talking shit on him, I say, he's a poor kid. Poor kid. He's missing a tooth. He's missing a few chromosomes, missing a few brain cells. What can you do, So, like, when I talk shit on somebody, that's very entertaining for me, and they deserve it. But then when everybody talks shit about somebody, I start feeling bad for them. Is Joey the new Teddy Hart? Can't get out of his own way, ton of potential. No, because Teddy Hart had the lineage. He had the athleticism. Teddy Hart has freak athletic ability that Joey Janela never possessed. Teddy Hart was bigger, physically. But Joey Janela never brought around his cats and never probably murdered somebody. But I see what you're saying. Hey, how about this? Mount Rushmore of wasted potential to close out the show. Mount Rushmore of wasted potential. The Teddy Hart Mount Rushmore. And I'm not talking about in a company. I'm not talking about like, oh, Chris Candido was dope and, they didn't really use him right in WWF. I'm talking about like career-wise. You want to think Psycho Sid, but Psycho Sid main evented pay-per-views and made a whole shit ton of money. Teddy Hart's probably going to be on there. Although I don't even know if his last name is really Hart, to be honest with you. I think he's like a second cousin. I guess you could do like dudes who died. But like that's not really the Teddy Hart Mount Rushmore. If they died, even if they died and it's their fault, it's not really the same as somebody who lives and keeps fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't really want to think about it too much. Teddy Hart, Joey Janela, Enzo Amore. But even Enzo made a whole shit ton of money, got rich and famous. Anyway, I don't know. Chris Benoit. No, see that's the exact. You broke the laws of the fucking thing several times over right there. Davey Boy Smith Jr. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And he was hanging out. He was hanging around Teddy Hart a lot. Started dressing like Teddy Hart. Yeah. Okay. And you know what? I think before the emergence of Jacob Fatu, you probably could have even said Jacob Fatu. But now, turned his whole life around. All right. I hate even putting Janela on the list because Teddy Hart and Davey Boy Smith were actually like jacked wrestling dudes with great name recognition. They had the lineage. I'll wait for one or two more, and then I'm going to call it. But tonight, as soon as I get off of here, I am going to be in bed dying. And what up, Larry? Shout out to Larry's godson. Shout out to Larry on being a good godparent. So, plans for this week. I'm going to go to bed and die. I have already watched one of the 3 films that I am required to watch this week for the new show, this new cinema show, this new show about film, this new show about celluloid classics. Go till 9. Jimmy Havoc is another good one. Jimmy Havoc always kind of sucked, though, too. So I've already watched one of the 3 films. It was the one that I brought to the table, so that was easy. That was an easy watch. Tonight I might do that. But I feel like shit. Woo, best be there. Yes, some of the celluloid classics with 2 very special people. We'll be doing that. Thursday, Phil and I are going to be playing a game called The Headliners, which is hilarious and amazing. And Lucha/Steve, I want to formally invite you to play The Headliners with us on Thursday. It's a hilarious game. I bought it for the whole crew because the 2 times that I've played it, I have not laughed so hard in a long time playing video games. What's on the list? Okay, so I guess I'll tell you about it right now. It's me, it's Bald Steve, and it's Schlack. And we're starting a movie club. You can join it if you'd like, but we're not going to really care about your opinions. Actually, we will, because you can put them in the comments about what you think about the films. So the theme of the first episode is Valentine's Day, because it's February. It's going to be coming out either before or after Valentine's Day. Love is in the air type of situation. So the theme, the homework assignment was like date movies, romantic movies, love stories. So I picked a sleeper classic, a movie that was ahead of its time, that a lot of people thought sucked, that a lot of critics really bashed, and Vanilla Sky is the movie. 2002, 2001, Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, fucking Kurt Russell, who's that skateboarder guy? James something. Great movie. And you got to think about this movie, too. I was thinking about this while I was watching it, and I'm going to bring this up on the show. This movie was made at the height of Tom Cruise's, like, global popularity. Like, he did fucking Mission Impossible. He did Jerry Maguire. He did all these fucking movies. He just did Mission Impossible 2, which, although the movie sucked, that's when he was at maximum Tom Cruise hair. And that was when Limp Bizkit played the theme for Mission Impossible 2. And then Tom Cruise says he goes to a film festival. He sees this film, Abre los Ojos, and he goes, I want to steal that movie. I want to make that movie. And him and fucking Cameron Crowe make this incredibly strange, incredibly amazing movie, and release it globally, and like tour the world promoting this movie, which is a strange film. It's a very strange film, but it wasn't as strange as I remember. And that's one of my favorite movies too. I'm frozen, you're dead, and I love you. Maybe in another life when we are both cats. The list goes on. The list goes on and on. So that was my recommendation for myself, Schlack, and Bald Steve to watch. Schlack's, or well, I guess we'll end with Schlack's. Steve recommended Casablanca, 1942, I think. An iconic movie. I don't know why. I watched it once. I don't really remember it. I mean, but yeah, I guess at the time it was cutting edge cinema. Here's looking at you, kid. Play it again, Schlack. That guy, I guess, was in it. Is like a very famous actor. And it's a very, very famous movie. Maybe one of the most famous movies. So Schlack and I have to watch Casablanca. Ooh, Eternal Sunshine. Oh, very similar. Very similar film. What year did Eternal Sunshine come out? It's a good fucking... Very, very similar film. 2004, Eternal Sunshine. Vanilla Sky... 2001. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is like, I feel like somebody who wanted to make people feel the way that Vanilla Sky made them feel. Because Vanilla Sky has a million one-liners that you could put at the start to a Midwestern emo song. I'm frozen, you're dead, and I love you. Do you love me? If not, I'll have to murder you. Sweet and sour, you can't appreciate the sweet without the sour. Maybe in another life when we are both cats. We had sex 4 times last night, David. 4 times. So I feel like Eternal Sunshine, like, it's like Vanilla Sky is emo without trying to be emo. Vanilla Sky was emo with Tom Cruise's hair. But Jim Carrey had to get him cut, make himself emo hair. And Kate Winslet did emo hair. And it's a lot more artsy, a lot more all over the place. I remember it's like very disjointed because of the memory wiping and it's before and after and during. Mark Ruffalo also in that film. And Schlack's pick. So we're at Vanilla Sky, we're at Casablanca, and Schlack's pick is The Return of the Living Dead 3, which I know nothing about, but apparently, I don't know if a woman turns into a zombie or a man turns into a zombie, but one half of the couple turns into a zombie, and then it's a zombie movie. So that counts. So basically, first episode, me, Schlack, and Steve, having all watched the films, are going to discuss the films. Then we are going to then we're going to discuss the topic of next week, and then we're going to discuss what films we want each other to watch for the next week. I keep saying week, but I mean episode, because this is not a weekly episode. This is not an episodically weekly thing. It's going to be like once a month, maybe twice a month, like an hour tops, 90 minutes tops. No live chat, just maybe a live premiere, maybe a live chat of the live premiere. Which film had the better emo fringe? Oh, definitely Eternal Sunshine. Eternal Sunshine looks much more emo. But Vanilla Sky is really emo. What's another really emo film? It's another really emo film. Ooh, what about Me and You and Everyone We Know? That's a great movie. Not really a love story. More of just like a story about life. But, hey, at the end, they do get together at the end. So maybe Me and You. Me and You and Everyone We Know. Great fucking movie. Great movie. Do you like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? Miranda July is the writer, director, and actress in that movie. That was my favorite movie for a very long amount of time. I've seen that movie 1,000 times. Very much like Vanilla Sky. A lot of great one-liners. See, now, I feel like Eternal Sunshine has a lot of great emo one-liners too, but why didn't that movie capture me the way that these other two movies did? You'd think that Eternal Sunshine is like built for me to consume and love for my entire life. But Vanilla Sky really stuck with me. Oh, you know what's another great one? Oh, so emo. Meet Joe Black. Oh. I'll cry every fucking time. Some more great emo films. Yeah, so I don't really know what the topic is going to be for the next episode, but that's basically what I got in the works. Thursday, we're watching we're going to play the headliners. If you don't know what that is, Google it. It's very, very fun, and we're going full squad. And besides that, I'm fucking dying. Good news is I haven't drank since Sunday. Or no, I haven't drank since Saturday night. Because I've been fucking dying. But I have brain fog, and I've just been a couch potato, and Steve was crying playing God of War Ragnarok. Oh, man. I'm trying to think of a video game that made me cry. I definitely have cried playing a video game. I just don't know what it is. I love a good cry. I love a good cry. And like I said, I cried like a fucking baby. I was blubbering like a baby watching this Tom Green doc. I don't know why. It just hit me in the feels. Just got me so in the feels. I just downloaded, I bought, like a fucking idiot, I bought this new video game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that just came out. And the pitch is that it's a hardcore medieval simulation game with like great writing and stories and branching choices, immersive sim type of stuff. Requiem for a Dream. So good. If this is red, what's orange? Ass to ass. Great film. Great film. So I bought it. I watched a preview of it. One of my favorite streamers was playing a preview of it like last month. Everybody's raving about it. Critically acclaimed, right? But what's up, Juan? Juan, I'm fucking sick, dude. I'm dying. The only reason I did the show today is because I wanted to talk about Joey Janela throwing the table like an idiot. I that's the only thing that got me out of bed. Is because this stupid fucking idiot. Ugh. Anyway, nobody can prove that Juan got me sick, but he might have. Yeah, but anyway, so this game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, it's a hardcore medieval immersive sim. First person with sword combat, crafting, all this stuff. Jobs. You do jobs. But here's the thing. You don't create a character. You play as a character. Much like you don't create Arthur Morgan in Red Dead 2. You play as Arthur Morgan. But, in Skyrim or in Baldur's Gate, you create your own character. So in this one, you play like Henry. Number one, first thing, I think that the main character looks very much like Pat McAfee, and it's distracting me. It's like Pat McAfee's head, but like smaller, a little smaller. That's number one. Number two, during the tutorial where you're fighting with wooden swords, I realized that I'm terrible at fighting with swords. I'm not good at this at all. So whatever happens, I'm going to try to talk or shoot a bow and arrow my way out of it. So I'm very bad at doing like the whole thing, the whole system of the sword fighting is so fucking dope and so interesting and unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I want to like it, but I don't think I'm ever going to be good at it. April had to leave early today. She wasn't feeling well either. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Steve, completely. Well, I'm sorry. I tried not to. Like, you see what the thing is, when I was at work on Saturday, I didn't realize that I was getting sick. Like I was like, oh, man, I'm like sneezing a little bit. I'm like, feel something in my throat. Didn't even realize I was getting sick. By Saturday evening, I left work early because I was like fucking dying. It was like cold sweats, sneezing, coughing. And then Sunday, I woke up feeling like shit. I kind of felt better during the day. And then Monday, I was fucking dead. And today, I haven't been feeling well either. And I probably shouldn't go back to work tomorrow, but I got to make a living, Yeah, so the sword fighting in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, very, very difficult. Also, there's this like one part in the intro, in the very, very, very beginning. It's like the sneak tutorial, basically, right? So you don't have any like armor, you don't have any like fucking weapons. You gotta sneak past a guard or like two guards. You gotta like go through like basically like the woods, right? And you gotta like find your friend in the woods. And I must have failed. And if you get spotted, it's not auto death, but then the guard runs at you, slice you with a sword, and you die right away. So it must take me 2 hours to do this shit. Maybe not 2 hours, but it took me a million tries to get this shit done. And then, like, when I would evade them, I would get, like, lost, and then, like, realize I was, like, circling back. Oh, my God. It made me sick. So I finally got to a part where, like, it's, like, opened up. And, yeah, it's fucking hardcore. It's unforgiving. It's very much like Red Dead in the way that, like, you don't just run over an item to, like, consume it. You got to pick it up. You got to stop and you got to pick it up. You got to stop and you got to pick the berries. You pick the berries. You don't just take the berries and highlight them and press craft. You got to go to the fucking shop and see if they have a thing and craft the thing. Your sword gets dull. You got to sharpen your sword. I don't think they're going to have fishing. But it's like every task in this game is like fishing. All right, I'm dying. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that we had to cut Larry short this evening. I was going to get cut short, but I figured why not give you an extra half an hour of me very stuffy and very stammery talking about shit that you don't care about. But Thursday, the headliners. And at some point next week, hopefully we're going to be filming this shit for release in the sometime in the final 2 weeks of February. I love you guys so much. I really do. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a little weird without Brian, but we're figuring it out. I watched the Tom Green doc and was incredibly motivated and inspired to completely start rebranching and retooling everything, but then I got sick and wanted to die. So, and almost died. And might still die. But I appreciate you. And you know what? If I had to put my money on it, I think that Brian might come back at some point in his life. I think Brian might return at some point in his life. I don't know when, but if gun to my head, I would say that you might see Brian back within the next 6 months. Maybe not back on Facebook acting like a crazy person, because now we know that fans and Twitter arguments can become violent. When I first played BG3, I felt dumb, but you get used to the way the game is played, you'll get it. Yeah. I'll tell you what, this game revs up at like a Death Stranding type pace. Like, you know how Death Stranding, the first hour of this game is 45 minutes of fucking cutscenes. So this is one game I will never be restarting. What was I going to say? I don't know. I'm all fucked up in the game. I really appreciate you guys. I really love you guys. I also completely forgot the fucking Job for a Cowboy, Thoughts on a Cowboy thing. I fucked that up, so I will post that on YouTube Shorts briefly. Or as its own video. I love you guys so much. Also, I am working on a special guest for Versus the World. I'll have details on that next week. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure that if you're a wrestler, bring sweatpants to put on as you're standing behind the table, because nobody wants to see you in a t-shirt and your trunks. And nobody wants to see your knees. And until next time, appreciate you, bullies of the wood, bulls of the wood. Love you guys so much. However, if you are one of our enemies, I must insist, throw the table at us. Die slow. Out of time. Bye-bye.
the